If you want to learn the third step in the strategy crafting process, both for your business and for your personal life, then stick around. That's what I'm discussing today. Hi everyone, my name is Jacques Snyman and I make videos to help you create a more secure future for you and your family. If you are at all concerned about something like insecurity of a job in the corporate environment, or you just want to create something on the side hustle if you want, that will help you create a more secure future for you and your family, then this is for you. Today I want to talk about the third step or the third phase in that process that we started. Remember, we started out by saying you need to create some form of a vision, and this is the strategy crafting process for both the business and for your personal life. So you need to form some form of a vision. The second step was objective setting. We spoke through that. The third step today is the step that is called the crafting process of the strategy, but it's really broken into 3 sub-steps. So first you start with an analysis, right? If we do this for big business, we go full tilt, we go all the way. We do SWOT analyses, we do 5 forces, we do best-sell analyses, we do market analysis, we look at their customers, we look at their USP and their marketing proposition, we look at the whole bang shoot. This is not what we have to do right here, right now. I think we can streamline that process and make it much simpler. It is, however, relevant or applicable to both your own life, plus if you want to create that side hustle or create a business on the side, you'll need some form of planning, and this will work for you. So the third step is about the analysis. So what do I analyze in a small business? Let's say that you decided that a side hustle is one of your options. You want to create an internet business like exactly what I'm busy doing. I wouldn't do the best-sell analysis and the 5 forces and all those fancy tools or frameworks. I might simply just do a SWOT analysis for the business. And I would even go further and say I would much rather do 2 things specifically. I would investigate the market. So for me, it's all about viability. If you have an idea to go and sell a specific product online, you need to make sure that there's a market for it. You need to make sure that the world needs that and the world is willing to pay for that. So that for me would be a market analysis. And the second big chunk I would do for an internet business specifically is I would go and see what the competition is doing. So once I've confirmed that, let's say for example, a product that I can sell through ClickBank or a product that I can sell through an affiliate relationship is viable and will work, then what I would do is I would most definitely go have a look at the competition and see what they are doing, and then I would model what they are doing. Hear me clearly. I'm not saying copying, I'm saying we would model what they do. So I would look at their approach, I would look at their sales letters, I would look at their email sequences, I would look at the potential of them using a funnel, I would look at the way that they pitch this, how often do they connect with me as a potential customer. I would look at all of those things and I would model that for my internet business. So for the internet business or the side hustle if you want, 2 simple things I would do in terms of the analysis part is go have a look at what the market looks like. So make sure that you have a viable option that you're working with. And secondly, go look at your competition and see how they do what they do. Because guys, they're already successful, they're already selling. So go learn from them. Those are the 2 things I would do from an analysis perspective regarding your online business or your side hustle. The second and third step after that then is you need to create options based on that market analysis of yours, plus the analysis you did in terms of your competition. You need to create options for yourself. And that's simply, guys, in this sense, a list of what could I do? What could I go and approach this business with? How could I approach this? Am I going to use Facebook? Am I going to use YouTube? Am I going to use Instagram? So what channel am I going to use? And then what would my marketing approach be? That typically would be a simple way to develop options for that kind of a business. And then the third step in the whole crafting, the strategy crafting process after the analysis and after the options is you've got to make a choice. So you choose one of those options and then you can implement it. All right, so that's for the business part. What about your personal life, your life part? You don't go do a pestle or a 5 forces analysis or anything like that for your own personal life, although you could. There is theory that suggests that you could do that. I would like to keep it simple. So I would do a SWOT analysis, and there I would look at myself. I would look at what are my strengths, what are my weaknesses, and therefore what are my opportunities and my threats in terms of creating a more secure future for me and my family. So that's what I would do. I would do a SWOT analysis. And again, it's a simple process, guys. Take a blank piece of paper, draw a cross right across it, label the 4 quadrants, S, W, O, and T, and start writing down. Just do a brain dump and get to your strengths, get to your weaknesses, and then define for yourself what are the opportunities and threats in the market. So that you could do for yourself personally. If you need any guidance in terms of how do I figure out what I'm good at and what I'm not so good at, there are a plethora of analyses you could do. What I would like to suggest, 2 things I'd like to suggest that have really been valuable for me over the years. The one is just simply go do a MBTI personality type assessment. It's a Myers Briggs type indicator. There's a whole load of them for free on the internet, so go and do an MBTI assessment if you want. That'll tell you what your life preferences are, and it's really, really insightful, specifically for business and for relationships and decision making and problem solving and so forth. You will get to understand yourself better. That's the one thing I would suggest. And then the second thing is a process that is actually penned in a book called Standout. And there's Standout, the first publication, and then there's Standout 2.0, which is the upgraded version, obviously the slightly more refined version. If you buy the book, you get the assessment included in that process. So go look for the book called Standout. Read the book, see what it says to you, and then do the assessment. What that does for you is it indicates to you what your natural inborn talents are. And if you just do those 2 things, if you understand your own MBTI and you understand what your talents are, I truly believe that you have a really good understanding of the strengths and the weaknesses that you could go and offer into the market. The other thing I would do, apart from just a SWOT analysis for me, is I would go have a look at the Japanese process of Ikigai, which just simply asks 4 very simple questions, right? It says, what do I love doing? That's the first question. It secondly asks me, what am I really good at? So what are those things that I've already got in my quiver, if you want, that I'm already good at? So what are my skills and competencies? The third thing it asks is, what does the world want? Okay, so what does the market want out there? And then the fourth thing is, will the market be willing to pay for that? It's 4 very, very simple questions. What do you love doing? What are you good at already? What does the market want? And what will the market pay for? So what can you monetize in terms of your skills? So I think if you've done a SWOT analysis, you've done a little bit of an analysis for yourself, plus you do something like an Ikigai, you can then move on to the next part of that third phase of the process, and that's options generation. Now, I've already spoken about options in a previous video, but just to recap again, remember those options, your purpose is to go and create a more secure future for yourself. So those options could be get a second job. The other option could be create a side hustle. And what would that look like? That could be a bricks and mortar side hustle, guys. It could be a normal standard business that you go and create on the side to generate, for example, an extra income. It could be an internet business. It could be something like trading or getting good at trading or something like that. So I think there's a whole plethora of options, but as you do the analysis and as you get to know what you're really good at, and as you identify those opportunities and threats for yourself, you can start refining the options for yourself from that. And then the logical step after that, make a choice. So decide what you're going to do, and then you just make a plan and you start doing stuff. But remember, in the next step, the 4th phase of this process, we will talk more about implementation planning and how you do that. But for now, go do the analysis on yourself, create those options that you've got, then make a choice, and then literally, guys, just start doing it. Keep focused, but start doing the actions that logically should be done. I hope that helps a little bit. We are now finished with step 3 or phase 3 of that process. Next time around, I'll talk to you about the implementation part of a strategy, and then the last step that I indicated to you before is the so-called measurement, or the measurement and monitoring step, and we'll talk about that in yet another video in the future. So if you like this, if you find value out of this, like or subscribe, or my email will be in the description of the video. Drop me a mail if you want to know more about this.